don't think anybody, including our fan base, are afraid to be the villains. So I think that I think that's what makes this play special, is that starting with our coaching staff and our players, we enjoy getting in a fight, and we enjoy the close games, and we enjoy the competition.
I don't think today they showed up not wanting to win, and I definitely don't think that'll be the case tomorrow. We won't have the good fortune of seeing Coach Kiffin again tomorrow, but they'll be just as determined, and hopefully our guys are too. I mean, our guys, I think, are still trying to prove to their coaching staff that they really like to be challenged, and tomorrow will certainly be a challenge.
Your thoughts on
Rucker, the tying run at first, 1 out, bottom of the ninth. Wright State 8, Tennessee 5. Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chain.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
And I'm the number one kid.
The number one ranked kid in the country. That is for sure. What a great weekend of baseball. Any kid and I were talking just right after the game before Dauber jumped on. Got a little nervous today. But VAWLS got it done. Back-to-back SEC sweeps. Let's run down the chat, see who is hanging out bright and early. We just got going. We got 57 people watching live. Come on in. Alan Poe is here, dropping profanity, but we didn't say it, so it's perfectly welcome. Like, Alan can say whatever he wants. The three of us did not say it. OJ Mayo is in the house, says, watch, they still won't rank us number one. We're going to get into that and talk about it. Will Murley is in the house. What is up, Will? Good to have you here. Dropping those broomsticks in the chat. Love to see it. Patrick Washington is here. Donovan's in the house. He's laughing all the way to the bank. The only thing I want lightly is mayo on my burger. Go VAWLS, a.k.a. The GOAT, is here. He was commenting in the chat at like 12 o'clock this afternoon. He's been waiting on this. Wayne Starnes in the house. Lucas Sharp is here. Zach Cherry is in the house. Come on in, guys. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Elijah Allen is in the house. What's up, Elijah? Andrew Wyatt is here. Wade Rouse is here. All of the regulars are coming into the chat. I told them in the Facebook group, we find a way to get 150 people on here for a baseball show. We're going to give away a free shirt. That's all there is to it. We're going to give away a Diamond VAWLS themed shirt. So come on in, share the link, put it on social media, let somebody know we're live. We get 150 people in here, and we're going to give away some free merchandise. John Hill drops a $20 super chat. That ain't cheap. Thank you, John, for the super chat. Nail biter in the ninth, but good stuff. Let's go VAWLS. Thank you, John. Very generous super chat. We appreciate it. And that's what I told you guys before we went live. I kind of want to talk about, before we get into baseball and analytics and all that stuff, just the atmosphere. And we saw it. I played the clip because everybody was talking about it on Friday night. Lane Kiffin comes out to throw out the first pitch, pulls the golf ball out of the pocket. VAWLS, I think it was Lipsius maybe, had the mustard bottle in the back pocket. And then even kind of going through that, VAWLS win 12-1. And then Ole Miss pitcher. Let's find a way to put more bulletin board material out there for Tennessee. Ole Miss pitcher says, well, we kind of overlooked them. They play in a small stadium. And the picture-perfect scenario is the fact that Tennessee hit so many bombs on Friday. Saturday, they base hit the piss out of the ball. Like, it's like you want to talk about steroids and juicing bats, and that's what, that's when you think, I think Tennessee has made it. When there are accusations out there of steroids and accusations of juicing bats. But Indy Kid, let's talk a little bit about this atmosphere. Number 1 versus number 5. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Tennessee is the best damn baseball team in the country, period, hands down. But let's talk about that atmosphere this weekend.
Awesome atmosphere. Honestly, I thought it was pretty funny, the golf ball thing.
You love to hate him.
Yeah, but it was – if you can't laugh at that, man, I don't know, man. That was it was pretty funny, but it was also pretty funny when Jared Dickey crossed and he gets tossed the mustard bottle as well. But number 1 team in the country. From what I'm reading, I haven't watched them play. The only one that's even close right now is Virginia. But Tennessee, we've talked about them. What would they do when they got the SEC play? Well, they swept South Carolina. Well, South Carolina is only about a 500 team. Well, what happens when they go to number 1 Ole Miss? They dominated. Got a little close today. Atmosphere was good, but Tennessee, when you're first 2 games of the series, when the fans at the opposing stadium are leaving around the 6th inning, you're doing a pretty good job on it. But this team come in fired up Friday night. I'm sure Kiffin probably added to it. And then the award for first quarter of the year idiot award goes to Ole Miss pitcher who got lit up in his outing Friday night, saying they weren't ready and we took them for granted and stuff. Add more fuel to the fire. Add more fuel to the fire because Dolander said it yesterday. He said that evidently they have a players-only text, and it said they were fired up, said especially Drew Gilbert was very animated. So, you fired them up that much more.
Kick the hornet's nest.
Yep.
You found a way after you got the brakes beat off of you to piss them off even more going into Saturday.
Listen,
good job.
And they want to say, if they play in a small park. Their baselines, the corners, 10 feet difference. It's not that much bigger. And when we were hitting Friday night, of the 5 home runs that were hit, 3 were opposite field.
Yeah.
So, they can come off all that.
Yeah,
well, they got a reality check. It don't matter. They got a reality check. Number 1 team in the country? Nonsense. Nonsense. I said it last week. They're not the number 1 team in the country. They're not. They don't have the pitching staff. They got a good lineup. They got a good lineup top to bottom. They don't have the pitching to be the best team in the country, period.
No, and it's a case of also, after Friday night, I was like, this is a weekend sweep.
Yep.
Because that was Ole Miss number 1 pitcher out within 2 innings. Done. And then what was Joker's name that added fuel to the fire?
Delucia.
Yeah. Meat.
Delusional.
We'll just say meat. How about that? Because on meat, Delucia.
Great reference.
Delucia, your Starnes, he put it on here. Yeah, meat. Thanks, meat. You added more fuel to the fire. And this team come out yesterday and dominated again. The only runs they got was, and you got to give them credit, Elko took Joyce Yard. But, man, heck of a weekend for Tennessee. There's no doubt it. And I laughed today. I saw a tweet from NCAA baseball that said the number 5 VAWLS upset the number 1 rail. Give me a freaking break, man. It would have been an upset if Ole Miss would have beaten Tennessee. They're not even on Tennessee's level, and it got proven this weekend.
I got a comment that I'm going to throw it at I'm going to put Dauber on blast because he's saying something that everybody's saying, and I'm going to put a fun little twist on it. We're going to get into it, but I do want to say we got 110 people watching live right now. This is a Tennessee baseball show. I love it. 112. We're up to 112. Here's the deal. Share it. Hit that share button. Get it on Twitter. Get it on Facebook. Get it on Instagram. Call your aunt and uncle. Tell them Talkin' VAWLS is live. We get to 150. We're giving away free merchandise. So let's do it. We're going to reward you guys for helping grow the baseball brand. So share it out. That's the way we can get there. Hit that thumbs up. You guys know what to do. Dauber, you said something last week that we've all been saying for probably the last 12 to 14 months. This team is fun to watch, right? In quotes,
absolutely.
fun to watch. That's what we all say. I'm going to put you on blast. They're not fun to watch. Last year's team was fun to watch because last year's team found a way to win in dramatic fashion, down the stretch, one-run game, walk-offs, the Drew Gilbert grand slam I'll never forget, coming home from an Axemen game, texting the Indy kid, and we're like, oh, I can't believe we're not going live. He dropped a video. It like blew up the baseball brand because everybody was talking about that moment. That team was fun to watch. This team, they're really not fun to watch because they just beat the piss out of everybody. They beat the piss out of everybody they play. Today was probably, look at the weekend. They win 12-1 on Friday, dominate 10-3 on Saturday, and you got a nail biter today. But I agree, Dauber, it's fun as a VAWLS fan, but this team is better than last year's. Last year's team was fun to watch for a different reason.
Yeah, you nailed it. It's fun as a VAWLS fan to watch them win. It's fun as a baseball fan to see such dominating pitching and not just timely hitting, but hitting for power. We saw they didn't hit a home run today either, right? So
Nope.
17 base hits yesterday. Doing small ball, they can win that way. So really, man, that's a tough question. You can't, as a VAWLS fan, as a baseball fan, yeah, they're fun to watch. If you're playing against them, no, you don't want to see them come for a weekend series.
I just thought it was funny because, that was the way we described that team last year. It's just different. Last year was so dramatic. Every game felt like it was dramatic. This year, Indy Kid, it's been domination. Domination.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about it is the supposed ace of the team has not pitched the first pitch yet.
What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? He was eligible as of yesterday.
He is. Yeah, he was eligible this weekend. It's going to be interesting because I don't know. Yeah, you've got who are you going to move out of the rotation? If I were Vitello for the time being, I would let Tidwell throw midweek.
Yeah.
Kind of get back in a groove.
Get him up to speed. Yeah.
Because you cannot tell me there's a better pitcher in the country right now than Chase Burns as a freshman.
Dude's killing it.
Drew Beam, I had stats up 1.13 ERA on the season, and Chase Dolander, double-digit strikeouts pretty much every week. Yeah, man. That's a funny thing. I don't know. People use Halverson too. I think Halverson was supposed to be bullpen from the get-go, but
he's probably all I've heard is a week or so behind Tidwell. So
yeah,
I think he's close too, though. But
the thing about Beam is, like, going into the year when we're talking about the pitching rotation and people are raising red flags and concerned, like I maybe questioned Dolander a little bit, felt pretty good about Burns because of all the hype, but Drew Beam was just off the radar. Like,
yeah,
I was not thinking Drew Beam's going to be this good, and he has delivered each and every week. Like you said, you just rattled off the stats. 1.13 ERA today. He goes 7 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. And that's the thing. The kid throws strikes, man. He puts it over the plate. We talked about just it's so fun to watch as a baseball guy. We talked about last week, Burns didn't have the fastball. Dolander didn't have the off speed. And you watch Drew Beam kind of work the strike zone. It's so fun to watch these guys kind of change their game week in and week out based on what they've got that day. And it's It's like you said, it's a good problem to have, Indy Kid. It is a good problem to have, trying to figure out where to put Tidwell in this rotation.
It would be really hard for me to mess with it right now.
Yeah,
As good as those three guys have been. And that's saying something, too, because, I mean, we know how good Tidwell was last year. But I don't know the answer on it. I just know it's a very good problem to have.
What makes this pitching staff so good is how different they are. And then the guys you've got on the back end that you can bring in that is a completely different look or a completely different style of pitching. I mean, it's what a problem to have. You know, all these arms and all this talent, man.
I still will say, I saw somebody talking about Sewell. I would still go to battle with Camden Sewell.
Absolutely.
He struggled against Texas. He struggled today. I would still go to battle with Camden Sewell.
What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about today? Tony Vitello going with Camden Sewell in the bottom of the 8th, because Ole Miss had, I think Sewell faced 3 lefties out of 4 batters. Why would you not go with Walsh, Redmond at that point? Why would you not bring in the left-hander?
Cannell or
yeah,
Mabry.
Cannell.
Yeah.
I questioned that when he brought in Sewell at that time and he faced 3 out of 4 lefties. That was an interesting decision for me. And yeah, Sewell, he gave up a single, gave up a 3-run home run. He made it a ball game. But I'm with you, Kid. I'm going to ride or die with Sewell. I just question the decision based on the guys that he was going to face. Why you wouldn't go with?
Don't do that. Because
I wonder if it's part because that 2-seamer he throws that kind of breaks away from lefties opposed to going to it. Maybe he sees that as not as much of a mismatch. But
maybe.
I don't know. It's just thinking out loud. But
you start questioning Tony V's decision making, you may run into some people that'll criticize you like Indy Kid and I had for questioning Barnes.
Start screaming at me.
Yeah.
I just felt like Redmond Walsh was a better matchup in that situation. And you saw Tony Vitello, it's a 3-2 count. Somebody ropes one down the line. He's like, "Oh, you're done." He does
I
not
don't
care.
blame him. I thought it was a perfect call. I don't blame him one bit.
I'm surprised, honestly, he didn't pull him after the home run.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, here's the thing. People's worried. Oh, sorry, Dauber, but I'll just say real quick and turn it over. Sewell's still got a 2.40 ERA. That's pretty respectable.
That's the thing. I mean, this is SEC baseball. And his other off performance was against Texas, who's is a pretty good ball club too. Sometimes the hitter just makes a better play than the pitcher makes a pitch. Balls get hit. Look at what our offense is doing right now to some pretty good pitching.
Let me reiterate. We got 130 people watching live. We're trying to get it to 150. 150. If everybody in this chat right now, if you hit that thumbs up, we got 71 thumbs up. Let's get it to 100. If you hit thumbs up and you hit share, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, Instagram, put it somewhere. We get 150 people in here. We're going to give away a free Talkin' VAWLS Diamond VAWLS t-shirt to somebody in the chat. So share it out. Let's grow this live chat. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Baseball is a passion project for the three of us. I say it's a passion project. It was just like, I don't know, a year and a half ago we had 50 people watching football streams. It is what it is. It's awesome to have 130 people tuning in to watch a baseball stream. Another stat that I saw, and going into today, it was before today's game, that Tennessee started SEC play 5-0 for the first time since 1966. I would love to see what that year adjusts to after 6-0. I don't know what it's going to be, but Tennessee's red hot. Like I said at the top of the show, they're the best team in the country. Indy Kid, what do you think? What do you think? You think they're going to adjust the rankings? You think Tennessee comes out number? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fun to talk about. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where they're ranked. They're going to get, if they keep taking care of business, you're going to get to the postseason, and you're going to have an opportunity to settle it on the field. But you think Tennessee's number one going into next week?
There's no way you can't put them number one. There is absolutely. I already saw Rogers from D1 said they're moving to. He pretty much said they're going to number one Monday. I would think it would have to be, there's one of the polls that has them number one now. I don't know which one it is. If it's the dirt and baselines poll or, whatever it is. But I would almost think it has to be unanimous that they're number one at this point. I mean, there's no case you can make for anyone else at this point. So Tennessee's got to be number one. And, another big series next weekend. But I like their chances to go down to Nashville and sweep again.
Vandy dropped 2 this weekend.
That's the thing, man. I think here's where Tennessee gets underestimated. Is they've made it look so easy that all these pollsters and stuff just assume, well, these teams are overrated. They're playing. I go back to the opening series. People laughed at me on it. Georgia Southern is a good team. It was last night. Kyle Peterson on the telecast was talking about Georgia Southern's RPI is 14. They split with Georgia. They beat Georgia Tech. That was a good team that Tennessee made look easy.
Yeah.
They South Carolina is 12-11. South Carolina's played a very tough schedule because they got swept by Clemson. They played Texas and took 2 out of 3. They played Vanderbilt and took 2 out of 3. Tennessee made it look easy last weekend. That's how good this Tennessee team is. That's the problem. They're not getting ranked higher. I mean, how do you rank a team with 1 loss lower, 4 spots lower than a team with 4 losses?
Well, listen,
I think that's going to change after today.
This team was picked to finish 4th in their conference division.
Yeah, like 8th or 9th overall.
Yeah. So, I mean, and there were questions going into the season. You had some unknowns in the pitching staff. You had a lot of guys and production that you lost. But you're talking about the team that won the SEC Eastern Division last year and went to Omaha. I mean, this wasn't just a, bunch of guys they threw together. They had some core guys left from the team that had so much success last year. And to be disrespected that much, and that's a preseason coaches poll in the conference. You would have thought that wouldn't have worked out quite like that. But, hey.
If I were a player, I would take it disrespectful. I can see it. I mean, there were questions going into the rotation, especially with Tidwell out and, whatever role Halverson was playing. And then you returned Lipsius, Beck, Gilbert, and Russell in your lineup. And then they're replacing basically everyone else. So just a phenomenal job by Tony Vitello and staff of just – it's kind of like – I hate to use the comparison just because the team's kind of like Alabama football. You lose guys and you just next man up.
Plug and play.
That's what Tennessee baseball is becoming.
Look at Lipscomb, a guy that is a senior, and it's like look at the numbers that he's putting up, but he wasn't good enough to get on the field last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That tells you the type of talent that Tony Vitello is bringing in. Like you said, to compare it to Alabama, plug and play and let's go. Blitz 621 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Blitz 621. We appreciate it. Has Dickey any injury update? It looked to me like a hamstring, but I've not seen any updates as of yet. Either one of you guys an update? I doubt it because we're going live right after, so I highly doubt it. Yeah. So let's kind of get into it. Let's see here. Another interesting stat that I saw: Tennessee has not trailed since March the 13th. They trailed Rhode Island for a half of an inning. Since then, they've been leading every inning they played since then, and that's. To make a football comparison, we talk about Tennessee football team starting fast. Another stat I saw was how many first inning runs that this baseball team scores. They come out, they start hot, they start fast, and then you put a guy like Chase Burns, Chase Dolander, or Drew Beam on the mound. Dauber, it's going to be a pretty good day when you give those guys run support and you send them out there with they can relax and they can play their game. And something that I liked this week. I think it was it Saturday's game? Yeah, Saturday, because it was Dolander. And, there was a couple back-to-back errors, right? He's got 2 on, nobody out. Frank Anderson comes out just to try to make sure everybody's cool. Frank doesn't even get to the mound, and Dolander's laughing. Luke Lipsius is laughing. Like, the mood's light, and it's like they asked Chase Dolander after the game, and he's like, yeah, Frank came out just try to calm us down, and look, I'm going to keep doing my thing. And that's what Dolander did. It's easy as a pitcher on the mound when something like that happens, and back-to-back errors, you got 2 on, nobody out, to try to start forcing things, to try to push a little bit more. And his stuff was good. It was good on Saturday. And he just relaxed, kept doing what he was doing, Dauber. How important is that to have a pitcher that can just play his game and not worry about it?
It's big time. Coaching my daughter's team, and I know Indy Kid, you probably do the same coaching. That's one of the biggest things is you can't live in the past. You got to let stuff go. And as a pitcher, man, that's a struggle. You got guys, you make a pitch for an out, and a guy boots it. To be able to bounce back from that and come back from that. So 6 conference games, 9 errors. If I have one gripe about this team, it's going to be defensively kicking the ball around a little bit. We've talked about a couple other things, but pitching, batting, they have it all together right now.
But it's funny because the errors, you're right. That was something that I had in my notes. I'm trying to pull up the stat sheet here. What'd they make? They had 2 errors on Friday, 3 errors on Saturday, and base running mistakes. I think, was it Dickey that got picked off today? We've seen that, ongoing throughout the year. But again, we're nitpicking. We're talking about base running mistakes, errors, and a team that just dominated the so-called number 1 team in the country.
I didn't say this last week when we kind of got on the base running stuff. They're aggressive on the bases. And I like that because it puts pressure on the opposing pitcher and the opposing defense. They stole 5, I think, Saturday night. And going into this series, I think Ole Miss's catcher had only given up 2 total in conference play and gave up 5 in one game. So, it's kind of a give and take. To be aggressive, to try to stretch stuff, stretch an extra base out of stuff, it puts pressure on the opponent, but then it's a high risk reward. If you get thrown out, if you get caught stealing, you look like a bum, but you steal 5 extra bases. Nobody kind of remembers that on a night when you beat the number 1 team in the country 10-3, but that speaks a lot to the style of coaching that Tony V has.
I think I'm more concerned with the defense than I am the base run, but the base run can be annoying and stuff. But I think they had a pretty good weekend on like I said, pretty good catcher. They did good things against him. I had more of a problem with the defense up the middle, and Lipscomb was a little shaky yesterday on defense. Just, I don't know, just kind of like he was taking his time and then try to fire it. But yeah, like I said, Boogie, saw me reaction when Ortega booted that one at the end. That was just, can't do that. You gotta clean that up a little bit, because that is something that could come back to bite you. It could have today. I mean, because that was 2 guys on. Luckily, Walsh took care of business. But, there's part of me wonders how good Moore is in the field. If Ortega, he seems to make errors. So could Moore be better? I think Vitello's probably going to play the best guy. But I think that's something to look at moving forward. Is there somebody else you could put in the middle infield possibly if these guys are making errors? I don't know if it was uncharacteristic or what.
He had a couple against South Carolina when I was there.
Yeah.
So it's – And that's the thing. I hate to be critical, but these guys are playing on such a smooth surface anywhere they go. It's not like these fields that
It's not like playing at Eastman.
No.
You're not gonna get your teeth knocked out by a ball hitting a rock, So
Well, I thought there was one yesterday. It was a bouncer up the middle, and it's like I thought play should have been made, and then it goes on into the outfield. Ortega will boot a couple, and then he'll make a great play. So it's
like an ESPN highlight reel type play.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what we were talking about last week. He made a great play up the middle.
Yeah, so they clean that up. We're going to be fine. The outfield's been good. I thought Russell was fine. No mistakes. I didn't really think there this weekend. So this he's working. He's getting better behind the plate.
But it goes back to what I said last week. This team, the way they're built, the offense does enough that it gets by with those couple of boots. The defense, Russell behind the plate, not a prototypical catcher, maybe a little bit slower release. It makes up for that. If you're going to average 10 runs a game, 8 to 10 runs a game, who cares if you boot one ball into the outfield for a hit?
Yeah, and it goes to what I said earlier about Ole Miss. They've got a good lineup top to bottom. They don't have good pitching. Tennessee's got good pitching. They've got good hitting. And we're nitpicking, talking about base running and defense, right?
Yeah.
Look where this team's at right now. John Hill with a $5 super chat. Thank you, John. We appreciate it. It says, Indy Kid, are you going to be on through the College World Series as we hopefully get there?
I will be on through winning the national championship. Yes.
It's going to be.
I'm going out. I'm going out
on a high. That's going out with a bang. Oh, what better way to send you out than a freaking national championship? But I do want to say, next weekend we've all got stuff going on. We're not going to be live after the Vanderbilt game, which sucks because that is a big series. But sometimes life gets in the way, so we won't be live after that Tennessee Vanderbilt series. After that, I think looking at the schedule, I feel pretty good that we'll be live every weekend. Just bear with us. Make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. We'll keep you guys in the loop. Let you guys know if we're going to have to miss. It is what it is. Like I said, sometimes life gets in the way. We got 114 people watching right now. If you haven't done so yet, please smash that thumbs up. If you want to be a member of the channel, if you want to support what we do, hit that join button down below. It's right beside subscribe. Hit that join button. You can go as low as 99 cents a month, or you can pay as much as $10 a month. It is a guaranteed super chat. It is financial support. You like what we do on this channel. You also get access custom Talkin' VAWLS emojis. You get access to fan call-in shows. If you're a member of the channel, drop those emojis in the chat. Show them what they can get if they join the channel. Also, you can check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. You can see the TBA Jam shirts, retro Talkin' VAWLS, the State Pride logo, hats, toboggans, and Diamond VAWLS merch. If we get 150 people in the chat tonight, we're going to give away a Diamond VAWLS t-shirt. We got 114 watching live right now. Make sure you share the link. Let somebody know we're live. I want to give away a shirt. I really want to give away a shirt. I don't know where everybody's at, but if they share it, we're going to give away some merch. We got Vol Hoops merch, the old school logo merch, everything. Again, bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. So let's kind of jump into this series a little bit more. Again, Friday night, Tennessee wins 12-1, just never really in doubt. And again, going back to last week, I've said it, I've been aggressive, I've been arrogant. Tennessee's the best baseball team in the country. I tweeted it out. I said let's stop talking about it. Like, we shouldn't even be discussing it. Tennessee is the best team in the country. And I thought it was funny. A lot of people questioning Chase Burns going into Friday. He's a freshman. He's young. He's not ready for that atmosphere that he's going to face at Ole Miss. He's not ready. Do you realize what you're throwing a freshman into? He comes out, he goes 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 11 strikeouts. He did give up a home run, but again, Kid, I think you rattled off some numbers earlier. Maybe it was you, Dauber. 0.63 ERA. Do you guys, do people Do you guys think that people realize how good that is this deep into the season with Chase Burns? 0.63.
He had a no-hitter going through 5. I mean, he was dealing, and he has been dealing.
Best pitcher in the country.
Yeah. Ended with 11 strikeouts. We talked last week. It was up over 10 against South Carolina. The dude just comes in, and I'm telling you, I'll say it again. If there's anybody in the chat that wasn't here last week, being there Friday night at the opener, SEC opener against South Carolina in Knoxville, watching his stuff, the way his breaking stuff dropped off the table, to counter that with his fastball, it's nasty and ridiculous and unfair.
We called it I guess it was by the Texas game when we did the live chat. And you and I both, Boogie, said this pitching staff's better. It's not even close as far as the rotation. And that's not anything against Chad Dallas or Will Heflin or even Tidwell pitching last year. But Chad Dallas was prone to giving up bombs. Heflin couldn't get through the 4th inning, hardly. Much less the 5th inning, much less, sometimes the 4th. Tidwell did some good things too, but Burns is Tennessee's version of Kumar Rocker a few years ago as a freshman when he was so dominant. And then you got Dolander. Who would have expected, people were excited to get Dolander, but dang, man, he's striking out almost double digits every game.
Yeah.
And now Drew Beam. We watched Drew Beam at first. We was like, well, he's doing fine. Or whatever we said it the first weekend or two. And now Drew Beam is just
dealing.
Good problem to have. I don't know how you're going to take any of those 3 guys out of the rotation.
Yeah,
as we said earlier, Culberson44 says, aren't we still missing we're missing the best pitcher on the staff, Blade Tidwell. That's the thing. And yes, Seth Halverson as well. And we're talking about what are you going to do with imagine Indy Kid rewinding 8 months ago, and I told you that Tidwell's going to be out. You would have been concerned. And again, Chase Burns, you just said it, best pitcher in the country. It's not even a question. But Dolander's the one that kind of fires me. Like Chase Burns, I expected him to be good. I didn't expect him to be this good. But
this good, this quick?
He's surprised. Dolander is surprising me. His stuff is nasty. And then we talked about last week, he was missing some stuff, but he places pitches, he gets outs. This pitching staff, Drew Beam is the guy that nobody was talking about. None of us were talking about going into the season. It's when can we get Tidwell back? That's what we were focusing on. When does Tidwell come back? And no disrespect to him, he's only going to make this pitching staff better. But my goodness gracious. Just 2 SEC weekends in, this pitching staff is as good as any in the country. You mentioned Vanderbilt last year. This pitching staff could go toe-to-toe, which we saw last year. Tennessee went toe-to-toe with Vanderbilt. But this pitching staff, they're for real.
Better.
They're for real.
Well, you look at it, too. Just like I remember the first weekend they played Georgia Tech, and Beam, it was like, he did fine. But, he's biding his time until Tidwell's healthy, basically, was our thought process.
Holding a spot.
Holding a spot. Now?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
That ain't what it is.
You're going to have a hard time taking him out, man. And I think I would let Tidwell go midweek to begin with and then go from there.
I think if, like you said, go midweek, and if he comes in and is just ridiculous, and it'd be hard to improve off of the year he had last year, but if he comes in and is just lights out,
here's where it's going to pay off. Here's where it's going to pay off in Omaha, Nebraska, when you've got 4 legitimate guys who can shut you down on any given night of the week.
Yeah, that's the key point, because you guys talking about starting him midweek, or you can do whatever with him. I was curious to see if Vitello was going to use Tidwell out of the bullpen tonight. Give him an inning or two, see what he looked like. And you could start him midweek, and it doesn't matter. But all that really matters is when you get into the SEC tournament, you get into the regionals, super regionals, and Omaha and Tennessee. We saw it with Camden Sewell last year. Your best pitchers are going to pitch when you get into the postseason. And when you've got Chase Burns, Chase Dolander, Drew Beam, and Blade Tidwell is back healthy, let's go. Let's go. This team is going to be a handful when you get to the postseason.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see where Halverson – I think everything I've gathered, Halverson's going to be a bullpen guy, but still, yeah, I mean, he was drafted in the 19th round. And now with Major League drafts only being 20 rounds, tells me you got a pretty good pitcher right there as well. So, and I'm kind of like you, Boogie. The thing that fires me up is Dolander were like, yeah, we saw him last year. He had a 3-point-something ERA on the
pretty
year,
high. Closer
to 4. Respectable. But my gosh, man, his stuff's it's filthy. That fastball, I mean, he's pretty much saying, come hit it. And a lot of times guys are not hitting it. And then you get it to, I'll go to battle with Camden Sewell. You got Ben Joyce. You've got, I mean, we don't even see Cannell much on the weekend. He's more through the week. Walsh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Will Mabry.
That sweet mustache.
McLaughlin, we've been seeing him a little bit more in relief. He was your midweek starter last year. This is a deep, deep team. And just to think you're replacing Rucker, you're replacing Spence, Ferguson, Pavoloni, and you're not missing a beat right there. I mean, just I wonder why Moore didn't – he started out DH Friday night and didn't play the last 2 days. I wonder if he got hurt or what happened there. Or if they just went with Stevenson's speed possibly.
Well, and Stevenson went 3 for 5 today with a run scored.
Yeah, I mean he had a good game last night too. So,
but if you listen you listen to Tony Vitello talk, and I was trying to find some clips to play. He had so many good clips. I was like, I'm just going to leave it to the Lane Kiffin stuff and just get into the show. But he talks a lot about there's so much talent on this team. They asked him about the disrespect of not being ranked number 1. And he's like, our guys are so focused on internal competition, right? And trying to find a spot on the team, like trying to get playing time. They're not even really looking outside the box at where are we ranked and the disrespect against other teams. It's internal competition. And to make a comparison to football, even though it's just a baseball show, it's like people talking about Nico and Taven Jackson. That's a good problem for us as Tennessee fans to have. Like, do you think – I do not care if we're paying Nico $8 million. If he makes Taven Jackson better and he brings in more recruits and Taven Jackson's the quarterback, I don't freaking care. So if Christian Moore is on the bench and he makes somebody else better because of competition, it just benefits us as fans in the long run.
But
Vitello said last night too. He said, well, I put Christian Moore. He said, I put Seth Stevenson in for him. He said, now Christian Moore's the most annoying guy over here as loud as he is tonight. So I mean, the guy didn't get his feelings hurt. Yeah, he's over. I think he may have been one throwing the mustard bottle. I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, Vitello said that. I mean, that's testament to him. I mean, here's the thing about it. Vitello's you're not going to outwork the guy. He's a single guy. He's a young guy. Baseball is his life right now. What he's building is an absolute juggernaut, and the fact that he's convincing a guy like Chase Burns, who would have probably been at worst that compensation pick that's kind of extra with the first round to come to Knoxville, and he's going to be here for 3 years. It's only going to get – the Vandy Fund is officially dead.
Yep.
NIL. At this point.
Yep. NIL killed it.
And the success that this team is seeing, the quick success, that's only going to drive this fan base that is salivating for success somewhere. You saw it at the end of last season on the run that this team made. Just the excitement that baseball brought, fans are just clamoring for it. So what he's got going on right now in Knoxville, what he's worked out with the athletic department and, the stadium expansion and renovation, all of that stuff, it's got excitement about this baseball program.
All you have to do is look at the chat right now. We got 144 people watching.
We're almost 150. 5 people.
5 more
That's all
people.
we need.
Share the link. If 145 people share the
5
link on
more.
Facebook, 5 people. The 147. We need 3 more people. 3 more people. We're going to give away a free T-shirt. But Dauber, just to double down on your point, there are 150 people watching us talk about Tennessee baseball. Like right before Indy Kid came back with the football coverage, like the season before that, we would get 50 people watching live on a Wednesday night for football.
Post games weren't even that.
Football.
Unless they got beat by Georgia State. I mean,
then that blows up and there's like 5,000 people watching. But 5 people. We need 5 more people. Share the dang link. Share. Somehow this guy's saying he's banned, even though his comments in the chat. So I don't really know how he's banned when his comments
maybe from
there.
Facebook or Twitter.
I don't know how that. I don't ban anybody on Facebook or Twitter.
Like him on Facebook or Twitter.
Oh yeah, maybe.
7
Guys,
more,
share
guys.
the link.
Come on.
I'm just
7
going to sit
more.
here and chill for you guys to share the link until we can get 150 people so we can give away a free T-shirt. Indy Kid and Dauber don't even have a Talkin' VAWLS baseball T-shirt. I'm the only one that has one, even though I'm wearing this sweet Joe Rogan shirt tonight. It is what it is.
I'm repping my Sunday cream right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get a Blade Tidwell T-shirt jersey.
Did you see where they had the jerseys Friday and they sold out in no time?
Like hot cakes.
Oh, really?
So I got on there in the link. It said internal error, so it's
the
and they're
orange
supposed
ones
to be getting orange ones tomorrow.
And I had seen something that I don't know if I brought it in here.
Well, they got the Ebbett's Field, but those were a little more pricey than
$225. I saw. I was excited when
than the Nike, but
Ebbett's Field tweeted that out, and then I saw the price, and I was kind of like, yeah. But they're supposed to have the Nike hat, the black with the orange bill, and the interlocking UT next month. I think I saw. So,
See, I like the hat that Indy Kid has on. I've got the gray right up there, but it's not the one with the orange bill.
this is actually a New Era hat. This is not the Nike one.
Oh, really?
I got the Nike one last year, and I didn't listen to Dauber. He told me, he's like, bro, watch out, the size runs different. And I got the normal size, and it was too big.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, I just wear it. It's way too big, and I just wear it. I don't care.
I ended up with the solid gray, but this was New Era that they had them on sale. Seen some talking about Fulmer did not hire Vitello. John Curry hired Vitello, as a matter of fact. And I think with last year with baseball hitting, it was at the perfect time because football was an absolute disaster last year. As the last year, Jeremy Pruitt. Basketball was pretty sucky too. They made the tournament, but they got destroyed, and it was a rough year.
Yeah.
And then you had baseball hit at the perfect time. It was the absolutely perfect time. And now they're just building on it. It seems like people stayed with them. You know, especially if they keep this path, if they keep playing the way they are. A national championship is very realistic. Now, is it going to be easy? No. Are they going to only lose one game for the season? No, they're going to get beat at some point. It's too long of a season not to. But this team's got a lot of possibility moving forward. I think after Vandy, I think it's a fairly easy schedule after that.
It's the perfect time for me to go ahead and share the schedule, and we can take a look at it. Because they do play Vanderbilt this coming weekend. This is the big one, and like you said, Indy Kid kind of moving forward from there. But even with Vanderbilt, name a series that this team can't win. And a lot of people get caught up in sweeps because it is fun to sweep SEC teams. But a series win in the SEC is big.
That's your goal.
Yeah, if they had got a series win, like if they had lost today, going down the stretch 4-3, and like we're all nervous. It's like if they had lost, they should still come out on Monday as the number 1 team in the country. But when you look moving forward, Vanderbilt, they can win that series. Missouri, they could sweep Missouri. They could sweep Alabama. Florida's a good baseball team, but they can win.
Florida will
that
be
series.
tough. That's on the road,
Yeah.
but still.
But they can win that series. I'm not saying they sweep Florida. They can win that series.
Yeah.
Auburn, Kentucky, Georgia, like the rest of the way. This was the big stretch right here. Ole Miss and Vanderbilt in back-to-back weekends. That's when this team was really going to be tested, and they beat the brakes off of Ole Miss.
As your second and third conference series, yeah, that's tough. But man, the way this team is rolling, the way this team is playing, pitching and hitting, yeah, I don't see a series that they can't take.
And
Unfortunately, you're probably not going to get an idiot like Meat DeLucia that's going to fire them up every Saturday and Sunday going forward. I think, if they took them lightly, I think the rest of the teams coming in probably will take them a little more seriously. There's still guys on this team's bench. This is just hitting-wise that would start on a lot of SEC teams. There's guys that cannot get it. And it's funny, man. First of the season preview, our sleeper, I know Boogie's, and I just went different on it. Kyle Booker, this guy can't even get on the field.
Nope. Yep.
And that's a testament to how good this team is. I mean, there's some good players on that bench. Blake Burke. This dude's going to be a stud at first. He can't hardly get on the field, right? He gets more midweek opportunities than anything, but
like we talked,
deep team.
Like we talked about a minute ago, and Boogie brought up the drive that this makes. When you're pushing those two other guys that can play in your spot, and Boogie brought up football, and I'll flip it. The other side of the football is back a couple years ago when you had a certain quarterback that was the only quarterback that saw the field because nobody else was better and pushing themselves to be better or pushing him to be better. And that was why the garbage that was on the field was there then. So when you've got guys that are constantly pushing you in practice and in games to bring your best, otherwise you're going to be sitting, that makes the competition, but the drive internally, as long as you got guys that are willing to, buy into that and work for their spot on the field, and they, they don't come in feeling entitled or get pissed off if somebody else takes their spot. It just drives them to keep getting better. Then, man, the ceiling for this team, it's unbelievable.
I think at this point it's national championship or bust. I really, this team is a national championship quality team, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. They're good enough to win a national championship.
They've got all the
barring that there's no injuries. Yeah, barring that they stay healthy and stuff, then this is going to be a very, very hard team to beat, and especially if you get to that series, that World Series game, and you've got, by that point when you get to it, all your guys are rested and ready to go.
You can set that rotation, and you can have that fourth guy come in the middle innings if you get in a trouble spot.
You're going to do whatever it takes to win. That's going to be the
difference. Yeah. That's going to be the difference is a lot of times teams, their Friday night guy's good, their Saturday night guy's good, but Sunday, you never know.
That's when you can catch a win usually in a series.
Yeah.
That's
Tennessee
why
did that a lot last year with Tidwell going on Sunday.
That is why it's so important to take that first one Friday.
Spoiler alert, while Indy Kid was making that point, we just hit 153 viewers in the chat. So it's time to give away some free merchandise. As we get ready to wrap up this show, I'm going to tell you how you can win. We're going to wrap this thing up here in just a couple of minutes. You got to let it process. Come back and leave a comment on the video. Not in the chat, like the live chat's going right now. Not there. You got to come back after the fact and leave us a comment. Tell us your favorite Vol baseball player and why. So all of you that are still watching, 150-some people watching, come back, leave a comment, your favorite Vol baseball player and why. We will put it into the Google randomizer, let it pick a winner. More than likely, we're not going to be live next week. Next Sunday, Tennessee takes on Vanderbilt. Indy Kid and myself have stuff going on. Maybe if something crazy happens, me and Dauber can go live, but I highly doubt it. We're all going to be watching the games. I just don't think I'm going to be able to go live after the fact. So the next time we go live, we will announce the winner. Whether it's next Sunday or the Sunday after that, we will announce the winner. So come back, leave a comment after we wrap up the show, your favorite Vol baseball player and why. So
is that ever? Or from this team?
No, let's say this. Let's do this team. Let's do this season's team. I think that'll be more fun. So your favorite player on this team. What's up, Joel? Glad to see you in the chat. Showing up late as always. But let's get ready. Let's wrap this thing up. Any Kid, final comments on the weekend? Lane Kiffin, this team as a whole. Any final comments?
I absolutely freaking despise Ole Miss. Great win, great weekend. The upset of the weekend was that Ole Miss stayed close today. Hats off for them not coming out laid back today. Hats off for them not taking Tennessee lightly today, and they stayed within one. Good job, Ole Miss. Keep on keeping on, guys. Y'all are awesome. Hopefully we'll see you again later on. Maybe we'll see you in Omaha when you take it serious, and we'll send your asses to the house again. Ole Miss sucks. They have fastly gone up on my list of teams I don't like. The Kiffin stuff's funny. I'll give him credit. He's a troll, but he's a prick too. And but to the task at hand, this Tennessee team moves on to Vanderbilt next weekend. Vanderbilt's going to be ready for them. You're playing in Vandy. You're going to have the infamous Vandy Whistler. I was actually, funny story. I was up in Columbia yesterday, and I saw a Davidson County plate, and I told my wife, I was like, if it's the Vandy Whistler, I said, I'm going to jail. I said, we'll go drag him out of that car and take care of this whistling. But all jokes aside, though, it's going to be a big series. The two teams get up for one another. Vandy is not going to take Tennessee lightly like Ole Miss supposedly did this weekend, but Tennessee just needs to keep doing their thing. And we'll see. I'm curious to see midweek if we see Tidwell. If he's active, can we see him midweek? I think that midweek game bears watching this week. But go VAWLS, keep on keeping on, guys. This team is stacked. This team is going to be around too, because the good thing college baseball, once you commit to going to college, you're there. Tidwell is the exception because of his age. He's a two and out. He's more than likely gone at the end of this year. Chase Burns is here for this year and two more. So this team is going to just continue to build and to get better.
Dauber, give us some final comments and let's wrap this thing up.
Man, it's always fun to get some big wins over teams that take you lightly. Like Indy Kid said, they think they got a nice, easy Friday, Saturday, Sunday drive at the park and come out and lay it to them. Jump on them early. And you can't say enough. It's just fun to watch. Like you said, Ole Miss is they're kind of up there with all. I'm surprised we didn't see any cramping going on with the offensive performance, trying to slow Tennessee down. But
the pitcher's cramping.
Yeah. So hats off to the Ole Miss athletic staff because I guess they've got that worked out.
Yep.
Nice. But like you said, I'll echo the same thing. Going to be tough this weekend in Nashville. I I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee does drop one of those games next weekend.
Win the series. That's the goal.
I do think they win the series. At some point, they've got to come back down to reality a little bit, because right now they're playing insane baseball. We said it last week or 2 weeks ago. It's almost video game numbers that they're putting up right now.
It's insane, man.
So at some point they're going to level back out, and you've seen that twice with Camden coming in. He's not had his best stuff, and the other team gets the best of him. At some point, everybody else is kind of equalize, and you're not going to have 10 strikeouts from Burns or Dolander, and you're going to have either a base running or fielding mistake actually come back and cost you.
Well, we're an hour into this thing. I think we're going to wrap it up. Absolutely amazing to jump on here and talk about Tennessee baseball with 150 people watching. It's a humble brag for us, for the three of us. It's a brag for the work that we've put in building this channel. I love it. It's bragging about this baseball team and the product that they're putting on the field. It's just awesome to get on here, hang out, and talk Tennessee baseball with 150 people watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, your favorite player on this Tennessee baseball team this year, and why. The best comment's going to win a free T-shirt. But I think that's going to do it. We're going to wrap this thing up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll be live Tuesday night, 6:30 for the NCAA 13 Dynasty. Tons of video content coming your way. I don't know. We may throw out an impromptu spring practice live stream. You never know what we're going to do. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you do what Culbertson says and you put your foot on their throats, in the words of the Indie Kid. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. He's the Indie Kid. He's Dauber. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs, how